This is the new Lincoln MKT, a full-size luxury crossover. It's big and it's bold.
And it's like nothing we've seen before.
The large and bold split waterfall grille, along with the pronounced shoulders over the rear wheels, angled rear liftgate, and big rear taillights make a unique statement.
Sure, it looks unique, but is it really?
Well, the MKT is built on the same platform that's responsible for the Ford Flex that we loved last season. In fact, we named it one of our top 10 vehicles of last year. And it also shares the same platform as the Taurus SHO. Many of the same features that are in that car are also in the MKT.
Now, this vehicle might have many shared components, but there's no question about it. This is a luxury machine and a very capable performer. So let's take a look around. The MKT starts at just over $50,000 for the 3.7-liter V6 or $55,000 for the EcoBoost Turbo version. Both models run on 20-inch wheels and feature a power liftgate, xenon headlights, fog lights, and a glass roof or optional moonroof.
The back doors are huge, but once you're inside, it really is beautiful. My son was riding in this car, and he said, "Dad, this is the ultimate road trip car," and he's probably right. The back seats are like flying business class. You got these big bucket seats that can be heated and cooled, which is a nice feature. You get this large center console running down the middle when you get the bucket seats, but I don't recommend this if you have kids. I've got 2 kids, and one of them actually had to climb over that center console to get into his seat. So little children, you probably want to get the bench seat so they don't have to access this seat from the road. Now, the thing about the seats is they fold down electronically. They fold and then they flip. That gets you easy access into the 3rd row of seats, which also fold flat into the floor. Very much like a minivan cargo area back there. Very practical. Check this out. There's a fridge in between the front seats. You can put drinks in there and it keeps them icy cold.
The interior is nicely finished with this leather, or I don't know, maybe it's faux leather, but either way, it looks fantastic. This center console is nice and simple looking, and I love the chrome accents. The optional navigation system also comes with a backup camera.
Now, one thing we haven't touched on is this Lincoln MKT is built in the same Canadian factory in Oakville, Ontario that produces the Ford Edge, the Flex, and the Lincoln MKX.
This vehicle has so many safety features. In fact, it was awarded top pick from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and that's most likely due to the fact that it's filled with very advanced technology. The adaptive cruise control detects vehicles ahead that may have come to a stop, and the collision warning system flashes a warning on the windscreen. The brakes are prepped for maximum stopping power. In addition, the MKT has an available blind spot warning system to alert the driver to a vehicle beside. Plus, this system, when pulling out of a parking spot, alerts the driver to cross traffic. The collision warning system can be a real lifesaver, especially if you're not really paying attention. You might be changing the radio station or interacting with another driver, and when it goes off, it gets your attention. Sitting in the driver's seat, this Lincoln feels big. It feels wide and long. So when I actually got behind the wheel of it and took it for a drive, I was shocked. It's so maneuverable and easy to park. I really like driving it.
The base 3.7-liter V6 pumps out a healthy 268 horsepower. It's when the EcoBoost option is chosen that this MKT takes on a totally different attitude. By utilizing a 3.5-liter V6 with twin turbochargers and direct injection technology, the power jumps to 355 horsepower. This also provides people used to having V8 power the same kind of performance, but with a V6. Both engines are matched to a 6-speed automatic that can be shifted on the steering wheel. Now, this is a big 6 or 7 passenger luxury crossover that really is a pleasure to ride in. It's so quiet and it feels sophisticated. When you put your foot into it with the EcoBoost, poof, it just takes right off. So it's got power as well. Last week I had a chance to drive the Taurus SHO and then got into this Lincoln MKT. And in many respects, they're very similar. This is just a little bit bigger. It's got more space and more seats, and it's more like a, I hate to say it, an SHO wagon. You sit quite low, not a traditional very high seating position in an SUV. This really is a great vehicle for someone, hey, who maybe wanted an SHO but needs more space. This is the ticket.
So Zach, would you recommend the MKT?
Well, I would, and you know what? I think it's a unique looking vehicle. We have such a homogeneous car market these days. I think it's great that Ford and Lincoln have come out with a vehicle that looks so unique. I also like the interior space. As I mentioned, the back seats are like traveling business class. That's fabulous. Now, the EcoBoost engine I do recommend because that extra power is almost there on demand. If you're light on the throttle, you're driving just like a regular V6. When you put your foot into it, you get the turbo spooled up, and it really is a much better performer. And the advanced safety features have helped this vehicle rate very highly with the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in the United States. On the downside, I mentioned the back seats are like flying business class, but that center console, don't get that if you have kids because they have to climb over it to get to the other side. Also, the big doors incorporate the rocker panel into the bottom of the door, but if you park slightly on an angle and you open those doors, they can hit the ground. Now, the other thing is Ford Flex. This shares the same platform as the Ford Flex, which we loved last year. You can get the EcoBoost in the Ford Flex. You can get many of the same features that the MKT has. So is it worth the extra $10,000, say, to get the Lincoln version when you could easily get it with the Ford? And the Ford's also got a unique, funky look that I kind of like. What do you think?
You know, Zach, I really like the interior styling. I mean, it's very simple, classy looking, and it's very, I don't know, shiny and upscale. The space and size is very functional. I mean, there is a lot of room. They've also got the flat back seats, so you can get a lot of use out of it, and you get the choice of the bucket seats or the bench seats, so you've got a lot of options. I agree with you. I love the engine. It is so smooth and powerful, and the interior, it's unbelievably quiet. You mentioned it before too, but it's a great highway car. It'd be fantastic to take a road trip. And on the downside, I don't really like the exterior styling. It just kind of looks like an oversized station wagon to me.
Well, you didn't like the Flex either, so I'm guessing one of these is not going to make it into your driveway.
Well, you know, I didn't really like the styling, but I have to admit, it's a great driving car.
Now, up till now, the only experience I've had in Lincolns has been in the back seat in one of those airport town cars. But this Lincoln is one that I would actually put my money down and consider buying.
Want more? Go to drivingtelevision.com and find out just how popular the Lincoln is among presidents and how it got its name.